off-season workouts during the spring, and then now that we're out there practicing, the guy goes as hard as anybody on our team. He just wants to be great. He just wants to learn.
On the left, John.
Lane, you've referenced in the past mistakes you think you've made. What have you learned about yourself as a coach, and do you still have aspirations to be a head coach?
Yeah, I think as you make mistakes, the number one thing that you got to do is learn from them and not just make excuses for them. So I've made more than anybody probably, and like I said, to be able to go through what I've gone through and still be fortunate before the age of 40 to be here, to be an offensive coordinator with Coach Saban at Alabama. You take some time to reflect on that, and really to think that what I think is probably two of the most successful coaches maybe ever in football, and Pete Carroll and Nick Saban, have the opportunity to be coordinators for both those guys at a young age. Both those programs are really rolling at the top of the ladder. Have been great as far as being head coach. Yeah, I think that's always in your blood when you're competitive. But this is not about Lane Kiffin or anything before or where he's going. This is about Alabama. The game started. A lot of hard work to get ready for a very tough opener.
I want to ask just how this opportunity came about, and how much do you think being here for those practices in December helped improve your chances of getting this job?
Yeah, I don't think being here for those practices for the bowl preparation had anything to do with this. Obviously, you have to ask Coach Saban that. Knowing him before and just really knowing what he's about, I always thought this would be a great opportunity to present itself somehow. There was actually some conversations a long time ago, I guess, the coach's first year when he first got here, actually, on the phone, and some conversation about coming here at that time, decided to stay at USC at that time. So it was something that I had kind of always thought about, because I think the more you can learn from more people, obviously, the better you can become as a coach. And so to be able to be around all the successful people I had before, and now to be able to come and learn about not just the process here, about what it is about the players, but the everyday way he goes about the way he works. I don't know how someone can be more dedicated to a program as a coach. And so whatever his age is, how does he do it? He's relentless every single day about making Alabama football program better, and everybody will learn.
Hey, Coach. I was just wondering if you'd share a little bit about what you did see in December. I know you came in as a consultant deal. Would you share what you noticed?
Sure. Coming here for those 8 days really just was a phone call that Coach had made, and obviously he knew I didn't have very much going on, so I had some free time to come in. So I took my application in Tuscaloosa here for 8 days, Blackstone Hotel, and it was just interesting to come in and not have to work as far as running meetings as a head coach, I think for 7 years at that point, and just to sit back and look at the entire program and watch the players, the staff, the head coach, everything. And so it was really good for me personally to do, whether I was going to end up here or not, because at the time that had nothing to do with coming here. But I saw, obviously now what I'm seeing even more about the commitment, the dedication, and the hard work, and the way that the approach is every day from the coaches that gets down to the players. That really is throughout the entire building. This is a place that's completely dedicated, committed to winning and to playing extremely well and working really hard. And that's what you see every day here. And you see, it was amazing to see the style of practice and how physical practice was and how the players responded to it. There were no players ever trying to take themselves out. Well, it's bowl practice, and it's practice one, and we don't play for a long time. The competitiveness of the practices here is something really, really special.
Right here.
You've got a couple dynamic receiving options in Amari Cooper and O.J. Howard, the tight end. What do you think of their game, and you get excited about how you could use them?
I do. Watching Amari, much like TJ, does not say very much. Just goes to work every day. We would have workouts when we first got here, and Amari sometimes would work out 2 hours before the workout started, which I thought was a really hard workout that we're doing, the fourth quarter program here. And he'd work out 2 hours before that. So Amari, just we were joking yesterday, myself, Christian Jones, and him about some off-field stuff. And what you realize about Amari is that there really isn't any off-field stuff. Amari is completely dedicated to being the best football player that he can, and completely focused. And so he's great to work with. He wants to be great, and also wants to expand his game. You know, he's the guy that's going to come in and ask questions about, you know, how do you move around people? You know, Mark can see caught all those balls. How do you get to those spots and stuff like that? So he's been great to work with. OJ, really extremely talented. A guy who more was a receiver last year, so we're working more with him about expanding his game to be able to do everything. The last thing we want to do with guys here is just focus on what they do really well. And that's our challenge for offensive players. Let's focus on what you haven't done so well, not what you've done well. We know what you can. Let's bring your game up. So a good example of that is him becoming an inline player that can play all the time. You know, we can help him not for just success now, but obviously for the long term.
Michael on the left.
What was the hardest part about going from being the guy, the head coach, to being a coordinator, and also what are your thoughts going into, you know, when you're going back to Knoxville?
Okay. Took a long time for the Knoxville question. Going back to being a coordinator, there's adjustment there, obviously. You know, you go for 7 years of being a head coach, and obviously you're running everything. To now you got to go back to being an assistant coach. But it's not like I haven't done it before. I did it before, so you know, you just go back and this is easy here, you know, because you go from being a head coach and you come into a place. The last thing you're going to do with Coach Saban's success that he's had here and the way that he runs his program is to sit here and say, well, I don't know why he does this. I don't know why he does this. So you just come in really to learn it and to just be a part of it. So that part's been easy. As far as going back to Tennessee, we had a great year there. The people were phenomenal there. Really loved being there. You know, it was just a unique situation that came about. Can't look back. I just don't live that way of looking back and saying, well, should I have, or shouldn't I have left? I don't live that way. You got to look forward, look forward. And we're excited about this year coming up. Obviously, we're going there, and that'll be an extremely competitive game. But we're focused right now on getting better today in day 3 of camp.
Right here, John.
Kind of two questions. First off, would you have taken any other offensive coordinator job in college football?
I don't know that because I don't really live in the world of what I don't know, you know, and so this was an opportunity that came about that it was an easy decision for me. You know, that there was some conversations about assistant coaching in the NFL, you know, that I was going over, and it just, you know, I just always want to be learning and growing, and I can't imagine a better place in the NFL or in college to go to learn from someone who's been so successful and someone that teaches his coaches. It's one thing to go to a successful head coach that really doesn't have a lot of meetings, he just kind of runs his own deal. Coach Saban teaches his coaches every single day about what he wants, the way he expects things to be done, how you can improve, and he helps his coaches grow, which is why he says so many assistant coaches go on to be so successful.
Do you take a lot of notes? You know, you kind of in like a postdoctoral program here to become a better coach?
Sure.